What's up, everybody? Welcome to the N1 podcast. I'm with my boy Freddie. We got Con Man on the mic tonight. Con, what's going on, my brother?
What's going on, everybody?
We got Mr. Cool down to the right, bottom of the screen. Cool, how you feeling, man?
Always good.
Always good. See, that's what I like to hear. Now, I know last week, we had a great show last week. Everybody wanted to discuss LeBron as usual. The Lakers as usual, but let's go ahead and focus our attention on probably the most miserable man in all of sports right now, Kevin Durant.
Hold on, sir. You asked Conman how he was doing. You asked Cool how he was doing, but you ain't gonna show me no love.
Yeah, I shot you out, man. I said, Freddie, how you feeling?
I'm good. Okay, I just had to check, man.
See, not going back to miserable.
Funny, like Freddie.
Yeah, you sound like KD being miserable.
You tried to say something a little way when I was like, why you ain't show your boy no love when I was in the comments on your show comment the other day, but we're going to let that go. That's a different time. That's a different era.
Sound a little bit miserable like KD, So, with that being said, just my quick little thought on it. After winning the title and you're not happy in Golden State, then you find yourself in Brooklyn, not going nowhere. And then you ask for a trade, and then you back out the trade. I don't know if you know what he want to do in life outside of basketball, and that's up to him to figure out. But at the same time, it's like you can't demand a trade, then you don't get what you want, and then you jump back. That's like going out with a girl and say, "Hey, I don't love you no more," but decide you don't want to be with me. I come back to you. That's what it feels like. But I'll get your take on this first, Cool. That's just my little 2 cents on it.
Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but I've been saying all along, Kevin Durant was not going to be moved. It's simple mathematics. First of all, the league was not going to allow it to happen because it just signed a new contract. They don't want to ever put the precedent in place that these colored boys are going to run around here, sign new contracts, and then demand trades. Number two, they were going to put a package together that was going to be so just ridiculous and out of control that no one else was going to want to be part of that package. So Kevin Durant stated, right, he wanted to go to Miami. He wanted to play with Jimmy Butler. He wanted to play with this person or that person. He wanted to go to Phoenix, and he wanted to play with this person or that person. So here's the problem with that. Do you really think Brooklyn was going to give up all of their prized possession in you and not get back those guys that you want to play with? So you still weren't going to get what you wanted. There wasn't going to be any team that you were going to go to, and they were still going to have their best players and you being added to the team. Sir, this is not free agency. This is actually your sign, so people have to trade for you, not just pay you. Also, who really wants an aging Kevin Durant giving up a young core? Now, Kevin Durant is one of the most lethal, some people argue the most lethal scorer in the league right now. There's no doubt about that. But you are more on the downward turn of your career than you are the upward slope of your career. So Boston's not giving up their young boys for you to come. Phoenix is not giving up, their young stud for you to come. Miami wasn't giving up a bunch of their young players and picks for you to come. So what you asked for, there were so many ways that it wasn't going to happen. I knew all along it wasn't going to happen. I'm not surprised that it didn't happen. And I'm glad that we can breathe that saga away from us because it's not important anymore. He's staying where he is. We should have known it the whole time. I said it the whole time, and I got the receipts.
Tom, what's your take on this particular?
Something? I agree with Cool 100%. The fact that KD, first of all, just in the offseason, signed a 4-year contract. Right there, that there tells itself, and the fact that if whatever teams would be interested would have to give up a whole boatload of players and perhaps ruin their future. And I think most teams realize that they weren't going to give up their future for a KD. The thing that what upsets me the most about KD is, like you said, he done won championships, he's won MVP finals, he's done this and done all that. But what he did, I think, with the Nets is that he might have caused friction between Nash and general manager, and how that's going to affect the locker room. How's that going to affect, Nash being told that KD wanted them to go? So I'm going to be looking forward to see how that component's going to work out with the Nets. That's my take.
Hey, gentlemen, am I here?
What's going on, brother?
What's going on? I just want to just jump in real quick. It's Mojo. I'm sorry I'm late, but I will let you know none of that matters. The Brooklyn Nets are going to suck. They might win a couple of damn games, but just all of this drama, let me tell you something. You don't get through this in an NBA season. There's 82 freaking games, and they're going to suck. And guess what? Even if they win a bunch of games and get to the playoffs, they're not going to win a playoff series because there's no continuity within the organization. It's trash. You got to go to the organization. The organization is the first step in winning a damn championship. Okay? And the organization is trash. So I don't care what Kyrie do. I don't care what KD do. They can both stay there, and we can put LeBron on the team, and they'll still freaking lose. Guess what? Because the organization is trash. That's it. My personal opinion.
All right, Freddie. Mojo came in pretty strong, with his coffee all black.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to just jump in all off the hook but the organization is trash from the top to the bottom. And just the fact that both of the people that you're counting on to win you a championship have both asked to leave, and you won't let them leave, or they can't find a deal good enough for F Kyrie and F Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is nothing without Golden State, and Kyrie is nothing without LeBron James. So let them two go ahead and see what they can do. And I guarantee you they will not be able to get past Milwaukee, Philly, Miami, or anybody in the Eastern Conference in an actual series because they're both trash.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Are
sorry.
You sure
I came
you done?
late. I wanted to get what I need to say out. My bad.
Okay. Listen here. I'm not going to even entertain none of that foolishness that Mojo just came on. He said, because clearly
they're not winning the championship.
My guy Mojo just left the bar. That's why he was running late. He was drinking. He was doing something. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't come
Wait, time out.
Okay, but listen. Well, since you want to call this franchise trash, let's go there. Let's go there.
Oh, glasses back on.
No.
I'll let you talk. No, sir.
What you're not going to do is associate the New Jersey Nets with the Brooklyn Nets. You're not going to associate those teams. So don't even go there. Don't even start with that.
It's my turn, sir. So zip it. From day one, the Brooklyn Nets have answered every call that Kevin Durant is wanted. He wanted Kyrie. They got him. This is a guy that was getting paid millions of dollars that they was willing to let him sit on the bench because he was hurt. I mean, at the end of the day, who won it? This is Kevin freaking Durant. Let's be real. Then you was okay. You wanted to bring in James Harden. By the way, James Harden forced himself out of Houston. He was okay to put on a fat suit to get out of him, by the way, which he did. Let's not forget about that. Then you have a Kyrie Irving who sometimes want to play basketball and sometimes he didn't. basketball was not a main priority on Kyrie Irving's list. Let's not forget that. And also that he wanted a DeAndre Jordan, who was a little bit past his prime. He wanted a Blake Griffin, who was known in Detroit, who couldn't dunk. Then he wanted a LaMarcus Aldridge. Then he wanted a head coach, like I said the other day on Freddie Facts, is a guy that didn't even coach on the high school basketball league at all. So this is the same Kevin Durant who is the Brooklyn Nets have catered to since day one.
True.
Since day one. He's a part of creating this problem. But now you want to get on here on this show and criticize Brooklyn for them going what their franchise player want to do.
But
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me put my 2 cents in it. Charles Barkley,
you don't put 4 cents in it.
Correct when it comes about Kevin Durant. He's never happy. He's a guy that you cannot please. This is a guy that when has he ever been happy in the NBA? Can somebody ever tell me that? But at the end of the day, no matter what might have went on, I still have them one of the best teams in the East. Because we heard T on the Spotlight Sports Network tell me, Coach Dante, it's been a 50-year drought since the Philadelphia 76ers ever won a championship.
Wait, whoa, first of all, I'm going to jump in right now. I'm sorry, fellas. I got to jump in right now. Because first of all, this man, I just said that it's the organization. However, he just told me all this stuff about an individual. And that individual only has as much power as the organization has. So let's stop right there. And then I don't know why you bringing my new future championship winning Sixers into it. What they got to do with it? You sound like you don't know what you're talking about.
Can I just say one thing real quick? I'm going
to continue what I was saying.
It's only been 39 years since he won the title, Freddie.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are
one of the
best
duos in basketball. Don't get it twisted. Don't let
the whole basketball operation for the Brooklyn Nets is trash.
Kevin Durant is one of the best players in basketball.
Kevin Durant will never be happy. He's a man with a
happy or not. But guess what? Even if he's not happy, we know that he's still gonna drop 30 in his sleep. We still know that.
No, we don't. No, we do not. No, we do not. I saw him shut down. I saw him shut down. I saw him shut down. I saw him shut down by Giannis last year.
On another note, cool.
Yeah, I just want to say.
You got to say, my brother.
Yeah, I want to say that not only has Steve Nash ever coached like college, he's never coached high school. He's never
coached anything.
He's never coached AAU. He's never coached Parker
he coached
Rec.
his wife on how to stay with him and his kids on how not to leave home.
He's probably never even played NBA 2K. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this dude was out there actually commentating for soccer when they brought him in to be the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So to me personally, with that particular move, you satisfy the player, but that was a stupid organizational move as well because this guy had no experience.
If by some chance Kyrie and KD take the floor for 82 games together, yes, they'll win a lot of games, but guess what? They will not win a championship. They might not win a championship,
but I can guarantee you that they will be better than the Philadelphia 76ers. They'll be better than the Chicago Bulls. They'll be better than a lot of teams in the East. I can guarantee you that.
Brooklyn's back office is soft as they are.
Name somebody in the East that they are. Name somebody in the East that can beat them.
Milwaukee.
The Sixers, nigga. Are you serious right now?
Boston beat them, so that's not.
You do realize that Milwaukee,
like Boston, just swept them. Not only did they beat them, they swept them. What are you talking
realize
about?
That
they just got swept, bro. They just got swept a few months
by
ago.
himself, correct? You do.
But did they win? Right? But did they win?
They just got swept. They didn't even win a game.
Mr. Freddie Facts. The facts are they did not win.
They did not win a game.
That's the facts, Mr. Freddie Facts. Facts. They did not win.
They didn't win one game.
You do realize they didn't win. Period.
Now,
point blank.
What I would normally do in this topic right now is I would just straight blame Kevin Durant. I mean, that's just me personally. and the fact that Freddie's actually defending Kevin Durant,
I don't understand
that,
it.
I don't understand it at all. And the
I think it's
fact
laughable.
I
And the
didn't
fact
defend
that-
Go ahead, carry that man jockstrap all day.
I never defended Kevin Durant.
Keep carrying his
and
jockstrap.
then the
See how
fact
it
that
feels.
you even
Hold
mentioned
on,
the
Marcus.
same
No,
question.
I'm not. No, hold on. I'm not gonna let
Hold
you
on.
lie on my name, Marcus. When did I defend Kevin
You
Durant?
just
You just did.
You just said Kevin Durant is still good enough to drop 30 on people.
He is.
You
He
just- okay.
is. We will be
So-
lying. We will
No,
be lying
no,
on this
and
show
no.
to
So-
say this man can't play basketball.
never
Nobody
said that.
Ain't nobody
That's
say
not
he
what
can't
I'm
play
saying.
basketball,
Nobody's
but
ever
he's not.
questioned that
So-
about him.
He's
But the
nowhere
fact-
in the conversation
But
of one of the
fact that
best
you had
players
the-
out there. There,
the
I'd
fact
rather
that you
have
name
John
dropped-
Morant than that dude. Word is
the
bond.
fact that you name dropped my Sixers and
Oh,
your
your feelings.
Yeah,
I
and-
got
and-
you.
yeah, the fact that you dropped my Sixers in your
Yeah, we ain't got nothing to do
your
with it.
pointless opinion right now. You done made everything you said irrelevant.
It's because you and your
Thank
feelings.
you, sir.
This time in my feelings. That's all you gotta say.
Hey, I'm not biased when it comes to
No,
my
you
Sixers.
don't want to
and
your
everybody
feelings
knows
with Kevin Durant, man. Go ahead and carry his jockstrap
Hey,
around.
hey,
50-year drought.
And
Please.
here's the sad part, though. And here's the sad part about it is that even as bad as Brooklyn could be, they would beat the Lakers. They would sweep the Lakers.
No, they wouldn't.
They would sweep the Lakers. If
No,
could.
they wouldn't.
That's how.
No, they wouldn't.
That's how bad. I
That
feel
that
the Lakers
Brooklyn
are.
team, as is constructed right now,
Will sweep the
will
Lakers.
make the playoffs, but they will get swept in the first round like they did last
They
year.
will sweep the Lakers. Now, don't get it twisted. They're not going. They're
Yeah,
not
first
getting
of all,
past-
so you're telling me that they're going to get past Philly,
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Milwaukee, Miami. You
That's not what I'm
telling me
saying.
they
I'm
can't
saying
No,
sweep
no.
the Lakers?
Well, he's saying if there was a
You
series
can't sweep the Lakers if you can't
between the
win
Brooklyn
games.
and the Lakers, that they would
And the
win and
Lakers,
sweep them.
they
That's
will
what he's
sweep the
saying.
Lakers.
He said like in a theoretical
Marcus, you
sense,
drunk.
Right,
not an
theoretically.
actual sense.
Right.
Marcus, you drunk.
Not yet. But
Somebody drunk on
on
this
another
motherfucker.
on another note, because we can do this
Shit.
all night long. You know,
Nigga, they not getting to the finals. First of all, Brooklyn is not getting to no finals
I
as
agree with
currently
you on that.
constructed.
but
I'm telling you right now,
One
as
thing I don't
currently
like,
constructed,
see,
they not
this is
getting
this
no
whole
finals.
Kevin Durant thing and Kyrie everything. It has lost the focus on
What's
what
the thing?
this man
No,
can do
time out.
when
I
it
need you to
comes to the
clarify. I need you to
basketball court.
clarify.
People, do
I need
not
you to
let this
clarify
be
something.
blinders to
You're
your
saying-
eyes.
no,
Don't
you're
forget
saying
how
the Kevin
special of a
Durant
talent
thing
Kevin Durant is.
and the
Let's not
Kyrie
forget
Irving
how
thing.
special a Kyrie
What
Irving
is the
Let's
thing?
not forget what Steph Curry is. Let's not forget what a healthy Joe Harris bring you. Let's not forget
Nope.
what TJ Warren. He's been off a year. He's
They
gonna be
suck.
healthy. And guess
They
what?
still
That
suck.
just- that just
They
ramps
still
up their
suck.
bench. So
They have no continuity.
you say that, but when them two is healthy, they
No,
they
I've
run
seen
right
it.
in.
I've actually
You say
seen
that.
it in real
You
life.
say that.
I've seen it in real life.
We see
last
the
year
same damn
when they
thing
got
that
swept
comes
by
to the
Boston.
Philadelphia 76ers. We see the same thing. Trust the process.
Did you
Trust
beat
the
us?
process.
Did you
When
beat
is
us?
this
Did you
process
beat the
ever gonna
Sixers?
show
Did,
us
have you beaten
When?
the Sixers in the playoffs?
but
no.
had you, but did they at least
Cállate la
win,
boca.
did they at least win the playoffs?
Cállate la boca.
When
past
is this
season?
process ever going to do
Did
something?
they? When is
We've been
Brooklyn
waiting
process?
50
When's
years.
Brooklyn process?
Kanye was playing
It's been 4 years.
basketball the last
It's
time
been
he
4
was
years
playing.
for Brooklyn.
When
What about
tell
them?
me the Nets when did the Nets win the last when is
Yeah,
their
Dr.
last
Gary
championship?
Press is rolling
When
his
is the
eyes
Nets
right now.
when did
Dr.
the
Gary,
Nets
Dr.
when was
J,
the
I'm
Nets
sorry.
last championship?
It's been 4 years.
Dr.
since
J is
since Brooklyn been
rolling his
together.
eyes right now.
And we're their
When the
process
last
is
time the
same as
Nets
our
won the
process.
championship? Tell me.
And let's not forget, y'all got probably 2 of the best scorers in the NBA on the same team that got
Ooh.
swept by a young
And
team.
got swept.
So y'all in the same process as the Sixers. Nowhere.
No, it
No,
ain't no
you're
y'all
not in
over
the
here.
same
That's
process
great.
as the
You
Sixers.
do
The
realize
Sixers
that a lot of
actually-
stuff they was going
The
through the regular
Sixers actually,
season.
if James
It was a
Harden didn't
distraction
have a
when it
hurt
came to
hand,
the postseason.
would've probably
Don't you
been in the
realize
finals.
that they didn't have continuity? But this year going in with a committed Kyrie Irving with Kevin Durant back.
Wait,
then
first of all, I
Hold
thought
up,
you
hold
was a
up, hold up.
Lakers fan. I
Make
thought you
it
was a
up.
Lakers fan, homie.
Hold up.
I thought you was a Lakers fan. Are
I
you a
believe
Kevin?
purple and
Oh
gold,
no!
sir.
Can
Like I
we-
said, keep carrying around Kevin Durant's jockstrap, and we'll see how long that lasts.
Hold up. I have one question. Can we ever use the words committed and Kyrie in the same sentence and
Nope.
actually expect anyone to
They
take it
got to be
seriously?
committed this year. You know why? Because if he
I don't take that
don't
seriously.
go in there and be bought in this year, it's a possibility that he will be just like Russell Westbrook out the league.
Well, guess what?
Russell Westbrook ain't out the
Can't be
league.
committed.
Oh, he close. He close to being. He close. Let him have another year like he did last year.
I doubt
Let him
that.
have another year.
I
You're
disagree. I vehemently
There's only
disagree.
one
I
team that would trust
vehemently
him.
disagree.
That's the 76ers. They'll trust that process.
Okay, let's jump.
Hey,
Hey
but-
man, you go. That's the last time you
let's
gonna
jump-
refer
let's
to my
jump on another
damn
note
team.
right now.
You gonna stop talking about the Sixers? They ain't got
I've never
nothing
heard
to
of
do
a
with it.
team.
We're gonna jump on
I
another
have
topic
never
right
heard
First
now.
of all, you a
that
Lakers
will tank
fan
on purpose.
over here. Wait,
I
wait,
feel as
wait,
though y'all
wait,
two
wait.
go back and forth all
First
night
of all,
with
he's
this,
a
and
Hey,
Lakers
Marcus, you
fan,
better have to
and
use the
all
mute
we gotta
he's
act-
player.
talking about is
we
the
got actual
Brooklyn
show to
Nets.
do right now, so let's get the show done, and we can do this on another note or another night if we need to. But as of right now, I see the vibe between y'all two is a little
Boy,
disrespectful.
it's about to get ugly.
Kind of like the Clippers. A lot of folks saying they might be
Trash,
the most disrespected team in the
That's
NBA right now.
trash.
So, Kai,
trash.
tell me, is the Clippers the most disrespectful or most underrated team right now in the NBA?
Not at all.
Kai.
First of all, they haven't.
Is
shown
your
us
name
anything.
Con or is it Rojo?
They haven't shown us anything. They are who they are. They prove to us. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, thank you. Con.
Oh, I was ready for that one.
Yeah. But you gonna get your turn, Mojo. You gonna get it, baby. You gonna get it. This is the N1.
I'm gonna get my turn.
This is the N1 podcast, not the Mojo podcast. Let's get it. Come on, Kai.
Not the mojo. You know what? I'm gonna put myself on mute real quick.
All right, go ahead, Kai.
You know, one thing I think, we have to realize too, fellas, is that Kyrie is in a contract year. And he wants to get that bag. He wants to get that $200 million like these other folks are getting.
We're talking Clippers right now, Kai.
Oh,
They done stole all your joy. Yeah,
Okay,
they stole all your
okay.
joy. So let me rephrase the question for you, Kai. Are the Clippers the most disrespected or the most underrated team in NBA right now?
You know something? I don't think they are. I think
Memphis.
in the previous years they were, but I think with amount of having Tyronn Lue as the coach and the fact that they have a good nucleus of their team, do I think they're disrespected? Not at all. I think they used to be. They always had that bad reputation. Clippers had a bad reputation for years, but I think with a healthy George, a healthy Kawhi, I think they're going to do some damage. And they picked up my man Wall. I mean, he's going to be treacherous. So I think they're going to be a team to be dealt with. What y'all think?
All right, so let me go ahead and pass this off to Freddie and get his thoughts on this real quick.
Listen here. I'm gonna trust the Clippers. I really am. Because tomorrow morning I'm going to get the Clippers, get this shaped up, that shaped up, get my edge up. They're gonna touch up the
Now, I'm sorry, I had put myself on mute, but first of all, you salute like this. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but guess what?
Give it up, bro.
Guess what? It's gonna be back under control once I get to meet them Clippers tomorrow. That's the only thing.
Clippers and them Nets.
That's the only thing I can trust the Clippers, because to me they. Listen here.
Yeah.
The Clippers are like the Dallas Cowboys minus championships. What can go wrong will go wrong. They will find a way to screw it up. They will find a way. Gotta remember this, you guys. They had chances of taking LA. They've had the chances, but they fumble the bag every time. I remember when the Lakers was bad, winning 17 games, 19 games, 22, 23 games. Those were some bad times. In the Clippers, they had Lob City, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DJ, JJ Redick, Jamal Crawford, Doc Rivers in the crew. That was supposed to be the team that was going to win. But what did they do? They found a way to fumble the bag. They found a way. And what did they do a few years ago? They got Kawhi and they got PG. They brought in Ty Lue. They got all these people in there. And that was supposed to be their town. They had the Battle of LA. And what happened? They got beat. This is what they do. They find ways to mess it up. No matter what happens, no matter what year, no matter who's on the team, because they got a deep team, they will find a way to fumble the bag. And I'm going to sit back and I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh.
All right. So let me go ahead and get cool in here because I know Mojo probably have a lot to say. So we'll stay here for last. And let's get Cool's take on this topic real quick.
So first of all, I want to say, let's leave it to a Lakers fan to automatically come out and say that the Clippers are going to be nothing. That's not a surprise. That's what the Lakers always do in their fan base. So I will say this. I do agree with Freddie that the Lob City team was not good. But you know why they weren't good? Because they have the false point guard and Chris Paul. Chris Paul does not win anywhere he goes. When you bring Chris Paul in, you're saying, I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to look good in the regular season, and I'm trying to blow it in the playoffs. That's what happens when you bring Chris Paul.
Chris be heated right now.
When you put Chris Paul in the game, when you put him on your team, you are basically signifying to every other NBA team, I'm not actually trying to win. I'm just trying to look good in the regular season because it's the only time that you get this great Chris Paul. So I just want to get that out of the way. Now, I also actually agree with the con man in that I think that this team will be good this year. I don't think they'll be a top 4 team, but I think they'll be a team that contends. They have all their pieces healthy for the first time in over 2 years. So I think they contend. Do they win a championship? Absolutely not. But I think they contend and they get a decent seed, probably somewhere between 6 and 4, and have an opportunity to go to the playoffs, maybe win a round or 2. Well, a round, not to say 2, that's going too far, but maybe like a round. They're not the most disrespected team in the league. That's the Denver Nuggets.
Is it? Do I have enough?
It's your turn now.
It's all you.
I'm calmed down. I'm glad that you didn't let everybody else speak because it did give me a moment to calm down off of all that Nets and Lakers and all that dumb stuff.
If you got something to say to me, you put a name. I don't like slugs, Strong. Put my name.
Look, Freddie, sir. Forget about it. The Nets might not even make the playoffs. We'll leave that alone for now. The Clippers will definitely make the playoffs. Okay, so I think they'll be top 4 in the Western Conference. Will they win? Absolutely not. They don't have the winner's mentality. They don't have the winner's coaching. There's nothing about that team that tells me that they're going to win a championship. First of all, let's talk about when we talk about players. Let's get down to players. Kawhi Leonard has been unavailable since he won a championship with Toronto. Am I wrong? He's been absolutely unavailable. What makes you think he's going to come back 3 years older and be anything near what he was 3 years ago? Like, so you're betting on something that's a losing bet. It doesn't even make sense mathematically or in age-wise, years-wise, basketball years, football years. I don't care what you say. First of all, when people were acclaiming him to be one of the best players on the planet, I never believed it. Guess what? Kawhi Leonard was always on loaded teams. Okay, he was on a loaded team in San Antonio. He went to a loaded team that had already been to the Eastern Conference Finals twice against LeBron when he went there, and then LeBron went west, and he goes east and goes to Toronto, who was already loaded. Kawhi Leonard, to me, is the most overrated basketball player ever. This dude is, I don't care how big his hands are and how much you might see a dunk here and there, the most overrated player ever. The Clippers are sadly undermanned against most of the West. So they might not, I mean, I'm saying they'll make the playoffs just because of PG and Paul. Let me tell you something, John Wall, that's the best acquisition they could have made because that boy is buckets. but they're not winning a championship anytime soon. Probably never in the history of the NBA, and they won't this year. I promise you. I get the Lakers a better chance than them, and they suck.
You know, it's funny that you keep throwing slugs at my team, and I don't say a thing.
No, I ain't throwing no slug, man.
You
No,
keep
you
throwing
mentioned
slugs,
the Sixers
I'm gonna start throwing my
5
haymakers.
times. I mentioned the Lakers once, but I'm throwing slugs. Stop playing, man.
50-year drought.
50-year drought.
That's what Key told me.
Well, you a Lakers fan.
Now here's what I would say.
I don't know what fan you are.
That here's what I would agree with Mojo on is that I think Kawhi Leonard is probably one of the most overhyped players ever in the NBA.
What is going on tonight, y'all? What I mean?
And here's what I mean by that is that, and follow me for a second. And I think this has been going on, you know, since LeBron moved to LA. That they always trying to find somebody to throw the next big thing at, trying to put the next face of the NBA on. You know, they so quick to try to get rid of LeBron that they started naming Kawhi. Then they started naming Durant. Then they started naming Giannis. And then they want to take it to doggone Luka Doncic. Like, they want to get rid of LeBron so bad that it seems like whoever wins the title or within that vicinity, they just want to name him.
As long as he's still playing, he's the best in the game.
So that's where I would go with that.
And Marcus, can I ask you a question, Marcus, before we go? And what do the King continue to do? What do we continue to do?
Ball out. Ball out every night.
Topic, but what I'm saying in this particular topic is that Kawhi probably would have been the next best thing, you know, after the Toronto run, but he's never available. Never.
First of all, when he was with Toronto in that championship they got, there was no Clay and there was no Durant. So he really didn't beat nobody.
I mean, like,
he's the most overrated player in NBA history.
They were there until
and this is the guy that you think is going to take you to a championship? Get the hell out of here.
6 games, so Clay was there until he went down. So I give Toronto a little bit of respect in that sense that all they did was swap out DeRozan for.
Well, they in the same division as Philly, so I give them no respect.
Hey,
I gotta do it. It is what it is. We ain't got that far yet. We haven't got that far yet. So I give them their credit.
Marcus.
And then I got you. And then the John Wall acquisition. I think that probably was the best pickup in the whole entire free agency thing. Because
yes, sir, I agree.
John Wall, he's been sitting for like 2.5 years. I know he's fresh. I know he's been balling, and
he buckets though. He buckets.
And if I was the Sixers, I probably would have made a run at him and see how that would have worked out with him, Harden, and Joel Embiid. You know, in the same front court. I mean, same backcourt.
With a 2-point, I wouldn't touch that with a 2. I
would because if the Lakers were smart enough, they would have picked that boy up last year. If they were smart enough.
No, we stuck. No, we good.
Patrick Beverly.
Right. So
I think Patrick Beverly over him in Russ.
Yeah. Anyway. On another note, down that the Lakers had traded.
Hold on, Mark. Ask you a question. You see my hand up. I raised my hand, being nice and courteous, and you want to skip me. I'm trying to obey, Mr. Teacher. I'm trying to, sir. But I'm not gonna say any name. But don't Mojo remind you of somebody else?
Yeah.
He remind bro.
AI. I must remind you of AI, nigga. What you mean?
Yeah, Kobe told you what's up. So, but carry on, Marcus.
But anyway, speaking of the Lakers, you know, we like to do LeBron and all that good stuff. So as we see in the media, probably 3 months ago, Patrick Beverly was speaking that he would be a Laker when he was doing his little media tour after they got put out the playoffs. And after they got put out the playoffs in Minnesota. So to take this to cool, do you think that Patrick Beverly pickup for Lakers was a good thing?
So I'll say there's a couple of things I have to address on that pickup. I'll make it quick because I know we got to save some extra time for Mojo. So,
well, Freddie, really, because it's his Lakers talking about.
Oh yeah, and it's the Lakers. Lord, Freddie about to be over here. I might have to take a nap while this dude talk. But I'm gonna just simply say, and I'm saying your name, Freddie. I ain't throwing salvos. I'm being straight up. That's how I operate.
I'm coming.
But I think it's not a bad pickup for him because it does give them a guy that has something that they've been missing, and that's a good running mate on that second team with Austin Reeves that actually is going to go after it on defense. He's a guy that you can put in spots where you need big stops. He still has some defensive ability. He averaged about 9 points last year. So I think from that perspective,
He started.
Well, on the current lineup, it wouldn't make sense to start him and Russ is still on your team, sir. So we're going to go with the logic now. If you have your own personal homer feelings, you can save them for your turn.
No, Austin Reeves starting. They announced it the other day.
Okay, well, we're talking about
speaking facts.
Okay, but we're actually talking about a different player, are we not? If Austin Reeves started, thank you. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. But you could have saved that for your turn.
So no, you mentioned Austin Reeves on the second.
Okay,
so
well, thank you. So you could have corrected me during your turn. Thank you. This is my turn. So, with the correction from the Lakers homer, I guess Reeves was starting, but we needed a guy on the second team. The Lakers did that. Plays defense with whoever's going to be the guy on the second team that can step in if you need to on the starting role and play some defense. I think giving up Taylor Horton-Tucker and Stanley Johnson, you think about how far Taylor Horton-Tucker has failed. There was a point in time where he was an untouchable guy, right? Like last year. Now he was included in a trade with Stanley Johnson for Patrick Beverley. And I'm not saying Patrick Beverley is horrible, but he is advanced in age. I don't care who you are. Age catches up with you at some point, and I think we're starting to see that from a lot of these elder players. And the Lakers are doing one thing that they kind of went against what makes sense, and that's getting younger. You're not getting younger by trading away 2 younger pieces for another grizzled veteran long in the teeth. So it may work out for them for the next year, maybe 2 years, because that's the kind of thing that it seems like they're in a mode for. You can't rebuild when you have a guy like LeBron, guys like AD on the team, because they're in win now mode. So you can't rebuild. So you have to kind of get rid of the young pieces and bring in veteran pieces. But you're supposed to do that when they're at their highest, when they have the most value. The Lakers did not do that. And, that could be something that comes back to bite because they also didn't do that with Kyle Kuzma. So a couple of young pieces where they were at a higher value before they actually went through with the trades. So it may balance out for them in the end. It may not. But, I mean, at least logically speaking, it does make sense to bring in another defensive stopper at the guard position.
All right, Kyle, what's your take on it, Kyle?
I can't agree with Koo, but I'm having a different take as far as Patrick Beverley. First of all, he's going to supply defensive tenacity. I think he's going to be one to hold Westbrook accountable and anybody else on that team. So he is, as you said, an age veteran, but someone that the players are going to respect. And I think that he's going to add a lot to that team because he will hold people accountable. And the Lakers, if they had the worst defensive team last year, I think he's going to add to that. I think he's going to bring the more intensity out of each and every other player. Because if you see him play the way he plays, it's going to add more intensity to the rest of the team. So I think it's a great pickup. Plus, the shop money, he gets, $12 million a year. And the simple fact is next year, they're going to be able to get rid of Westbrook's contract. That's going to free up a whole lot of money for them to, either get another max player or someone they can pick up in free agency. So to answer your question, it was a great pickup for the Lakers. I think he's going to prove to be very beneficial to help them at least make the playoffs. Hopefully.
Well, here's what I would say before I let Mojo go is that everywhere Patrick Beverley went, they went to the playoffs. Go ahead, Mojo.
That's fair.
Oh, shit. Oh, anyway, I think it's an amazing pickup. They were missing that dog. The only dog on the team is LeBron, but you can't have your best player being the dog. You kind of need your best player, kind of like what LeBron, Jordan, and when he went out there and got Dennis Rodman. You need that dog. You need that guy that's going to be out there to change the whole offense of the other team. He has that capability. Now, what you need to understand is that he's definitely not going to be a starter. He's going to run the second unit, okay? And by running that second unit, he's going to cause so much disruption in the other team's second unit that they are going to win games just by having him. So he makes it, I think it might be the sneakily most differential pickup of the offseason. I think he makes a huge difference because if you're bringing him as your starting point guard in your second unit, he's going to disrupt the entire offense of the other team's second unit. The other thing it does is it gives we're going to see what Darvin Ham does because it all really relies on him. Because if he can't find a way to make Russell Westbrook be effective, the team is going to crash. If you can't keep Anthony Davis on the floor, the team is going to crash. Let's just start there. Outside of that, I think it's a huge pickup. I think it's great. I love it. And then on top of that, it makes them a little more dangerous. I think it makes them more dangerous. He don't even like LeBron. Well, in basketball sense, he don't like LeBron. LeBron don't like him. Guess what? They about to love each other for a few months. And he's another one that will come into that locker room like, let's get it done. Let's play defense. You know what I'm saying? So I think with him, Darvin Ham, and LeBron's worth ethic, and you put that together, they're a contender. They're definitely way more than contenders than the damn other team in LA. Seriously.
Well, here's what I will say before you go, Freddie, is that with Patrick Beverly trade, what it did was it allowed Darvin Ham to hold on,
that second unit gonna be dangerous.
So what it allows to do if Westbrook doesn't play the way Darvin Ham wants to play, it allows him to sit Westbrook and bring in Patrick Beverly. I think my mic screwed up. So go ahead, Freddie, while I correct you.
Well, I guess that's right, y'all. You saved the best for last. Listen,
in his own mind.
I'm gonna get Freddie. One of these days, I'm gonna get this boy, yo. He gonna
in his own mind.
Listen here. I understand the move because THT can't give us what he can truly give us right now. Because when you have a LeBron James and Anthony Davis and a Russell
you ain't
Westbrook,
saying nothing.
You're not going to have the ball in his hand as much as he's going to have it in Utah. So now you get a Patrick Beverly, who's one of the biggest pests in the NBA, who's a guy that's going to compete. He's going to get the best out of you night in and night out. This is a guy that's going to give you his all. It's no quitting Patrick Beverly. That's one thing nobody can ever say, that this man do not quit at all. Patrick Beverly,
LeBron like that guy.
Yeah. Patrick Beverly is a guy that I believe he shot 39% from the three-point range the last couple of years. Spot-up shooter. And let's be honest. Let's be real. He can give us more right now than Russell Westbrook can give us.
No.
Yes, he can.
Stop it.
Yes, he can. Yes,
Stop.
he can.
No, I don't think you really watch basketball, sir.
I don't believe you watched
got the
Russell
whole
Westbrook
game
last
messed
year.
up. He cannot give you more than Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook last year had probably one of his worst seasons of his career, and he still averaged over 20 points, 7 rebounds, and
he didn't average over
7
20
assists and 6
He didn't
rebounds.
average-
Are you kidding me?
No. He didn't average over 20
No,
points
he's not
last year.
giving you that.
He didn't average over 20
Patrick Beverly
points.
is not a
He didn't
starter.
even average 20
He's
points
not
last year.
going
What are
to
you
start.
talking
He did average 20 points. He averaged 18, 8, and 8.
18.5.
Well, Patrick Beverly doesn't get you that, and he's not going to.
But guess what? Patrick Beverly does his job. Guess what? Russell Westbrook, he don't
Patrick
care about
Beverly
winning.
is going
He
to
don't
be
care
coming
about
off the bench,
sacrificing for
sir.
the team. Guess what? Yes,
This is
Russell
your
Westbrook
team.
averaged
You a
18
Lakers
points
fan,
last year,
right?
Mojo, but guess what?
Patrick Beverly
It took
is
him
coming off the
15
bench,
times
bro.
to get
He's
those
not
15
starting.
points.
He's not
Mojo,
starting.
I sat there and let you talk. It is my turn. You stay in your corner. since you want to
So
go
you
there,
telling me that
No,
Patrick Beverly
you know
is
what?
going
I
to
got
start
you,
over
Mojo.
Russell Westbrook?
Thank you. I'm walking my tits off. Let me continue what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Patrick Beverly will give us more than Russell Westbrook can right now. What I'm saying is Patrick Beverly's not going to go out there trying to average a triple-double. Patrick Beverly's not going to go out there trying to average 20, 25 points a game. He's going to play his role. Him as a role player, he's going to do what it takes to help this team win. He's going to play defense. He's going to set screens. He's going to do what it calls for him to help this team win. When it comes to Russell Westbrook, it's all about numbers. It's not about the team. It's all about him. We've seen it last year, especially on the defensive end, that he cares more about getting his number. Because if you watch the film, sir, there was too many times when he was contested on the three-point line. Instead of him guarding his man, he wanted to go in for the rebound. Don't you know that last year they put up a stat that 60% of the time when he was getting guarded by Russell Westbrook, they scored on that man. He was barbecue chicken. So that ain't happening to Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly, he ain't gonna shoot on the side of the basket on the backboard. He ain't gonna lose the ball off his foot going out of bounds. He ain't gonna go out there looking like a clown. He ain't gonna shoot the ball horrible. He's gonna do his role. So what this move does, it gives the Lakers more flexibility. Russ, you don't want to buy in. You don't want to listen to Darvin Ham. You don't want to go by the system. Guess what? Sit your butt on the bench. We have more options. Russell Westbrook is on the verge of his last year in the NBA. If he goes this season, no, you put your hand down. You in my class. If he go in there with this season, he's gonna find himself out the league. Russell Westbrook is a problem. He is. Marcus, is he out of timeout yet or no?
Hold on, let me go before we bring him back. Before he come out swinging. That's what I wanted to say. I think my mic was having so much static in it that Patrick Beverly does give Darvin Ham more flexibility on what he can do defensively and offensively because Patrick Beverly plays his role, and everything he's been to, he plays his role. So Westbrook can probably come off and run the second unit without no issue and go that route because Patrick Beverly doesn't need the ball in his hands, particularly to be effective. Russell does. So with that being said, go ahead, Mojo.
I can dig it. I could dig that. If that's the way Darvin Ham, can you hear me?
Unfortunately, we can.
If that's the way Darvin Ham chose to go, I could understand that. If you start Pat Beverly and bring Westbrook in with the second unit, I could understand it. However, I would not do that. I'm going to give you last year's numbers for Patrick Beverly. 9 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game. Field goal percentage, 40%. He's no better than Westbrook, only Westbrook scores at a higher clip. And if you know anything about LeBron James and the Lakers, they're going to want to outscore their opponent. So I would rather have, because Brody, while everybody sleep on him, he actually plays pretty good defense. Patrick Beverly, again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are we? I'm sorry.
You said
are you okay? Did you have an attack?
I'm sorry.
Did you have an attack there? Brody actually plays really good defense. He plays both ends of the floor, just like Patrick Beverly. But who I want in there as my starter, I want Russell Westbrook. Actually, as a Lakers fan, I want you to want Pat Beverly to start over Westbrook. I want you to want that because it makes you look that much more foolish. Because if you look at these guys' careers, I do understand that Patrick Beverly is a stopper, but we're not going to act like he's the difference between a championship and not. Like you guys are not going to get one
I'm
because
tired
Anthony
of
Davis
you
is
want
going.
to be a basketball fan,
No,
but
you got
coming
your
up here
time.
looking
You
foolish,
got your
sir.
time.
Did you
You
watch
got your
basketball
time.
last year?
You got
Did
your
you
time.
watch
It's my
Russell
time.
Westbrook where
It's
he
my
let
time.
guys blow by him last year?
Mr. Sir,
Did you
I'd like
watch
my
this guy
time. I want
shoot
to
the ball
reclaim
on
my
the side of the
time.
backboard?
I'd
I mean,
like
I
to
try to
reclaim
say
my
Tom
time.
Marcus. I'm sorry.
I would
try
like to
stay
reclaim
calm
my
for the
time.
show, but this
I'd
man
like
keeps
to
pushing
reclaim
my
my
buttons,
time.
and I'm about to start
I'd
throwing
like to
them.
reclaim my
Did
time.
you watch
I would
basketball?
like
Or
to
you drunk then too?
reclaim
I
my
mean,
time.
damn, Russell
Can you
Westbrook
mute
let
him?
guys go
Can
by
you
him
mute
last
him
year.
like you muted me?
Con Man right
Can
now.
you mute him like you
However
muted
old
me?
Con Man is,
Can
can
you
go out
mute
there and
him
score
like
what
you
he
muted
can
me?
do.
Can
I
you
don't
mute
have
him like
that
you?
He
control.
can
Have
go
a
out
good
there
night,
with a
I
guys.
don't have that
cigarette,
control.
smoking,
Have a good night, guys.
and stroke it on him. Bye-bye. See, that guy don't like ugly. He knows how to get you out here. See, he came in here talking all that crazy nonsense, and look where he go. I didn't even kick him out, ladies and gentlemen. He found his way out. Just saying.
But here's a point that I think he was trying to make, but just didn't hit too well, is that even though Patrick Beverly gave you 9, 4, and 4, or whatever it is, then you look at the turnover ratio. Not to mention the role that Patrick Beverly plays, he plays it to the T. You know, I'm quite sure Patrick Beverly could go out there and score 15 if he wanted to. If he wanted to. But I think I would rather have the ball in LeBron's hand and let Patrick Beverly do his thing, you know, on the second unit or even with the first unit and do it that way because Patrick Beverly does give you more flexibility when it comes to your offense and defense. So really, if you got somebody picking up 94 feet and then you have LeBron playing in passing lanes and then if AD can protect the rim, everything should be awesome with the Lakers. They're still not getting that.
Hey. Hey, Freddie messing with me. I'm gonna stop looking at Freddie stuff when I be on here, bro. Freddie messing with me, man.
I can see him doing that too. But I guess that's that take on that. And for our last topic, you know, since we kind of interrupted abruptly like we did. So let's talk about teams that never won the NBA championship. I'm not too familiar with that. So I'm gonna leave that with Khan. So I know you know a whole lot about teams and stuff like that. I'm not too familiar with who hasn't won or who hasn't won. All I know is my Sixers won the title. That's all I pretty much care about. But go ahead, Khan.
Well, you know, I would obviously go, you know, with Minnesota. You can start off with them. I can run it down the list, but yeah, you know, the teams that haven't won is again, as I think Mo stated at the beginning, it starts from the top. So a lot of these teams that haven't won, it starts from again the organizational structure, and a lot of these teams haven't had the structure or the culture, and that's why they haven't won.
So who would be underrated team that never won a title? I should say
An underrated team.
Yeah.
You know something? I would say the Utah Jazz.
They never won a title, huh?
Nope.
I don't think they had. Even with the pieces that they had back in the 90s, I don't think they did.
They never did. You know the con man knows the stuff.
Yeah, man. You might be right. This topic should be more so what dual or team really, whether it's 90s, 80s, 70s, whatever, didn't win a title. That should have won a title is what it should be. The topic, I would say. Because it's a lot of teams that can go. I'm assuming, like the Clippers, they had good teams. I don't think the Pacers ever won a title. I don't even know if the Knicks won a title. I think that's more of the ABA thing with the Knicks.
Knicks won 71-72.
Okay, so and then did Milwaukee win before?
Yes, without Cinder 71.
I'm sorry. So
they won one back in the day. Yeah.
Okay, so it's only like
or they won some back in the day. Not one.
Only like three teams I could think of then, which would be the Clippers, Utah, and the Pacers.
I know another one.
I have a team.
Well, go for it.
You can go first, Reddy, since you spoke up first.
I'm gonna go with the grind, the grit and grind, the Memphis Grizzlies. You know,
good one.
Especially when they had the Zebo, Tony Allen, Mark Gasol, Mike Conley, and the crew.
Yeah.
But that team was a really great defensive team. That grit and grind, that's what they stood for. And I believe just because you had Kobe, Tim Duncan, LeBron, and those guys in that era, that it prevented that team from winning. With other teams, of course, you had the Boston's Big Three. You had the Detroit. There's a lot of teams that was stopping them, but that was a great team. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with John Morant, and they put the pieces around him as well, because that young kid is special. He's special. He's Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook when he was playing like Russell Westbrook. And that kid's athletic, and I just hope that they surround that young man with talent so they can. Well, I don't want them to win, but where you like to see a young man like that do great things in the NBA.
So I have a specific team that I
Here
think
come the bias, ladies and gentlemen.
The 1993 Phoenix Suns, I think, was a very good team that never won a championship. No bias there, so you can stop that, sir. Let me just run down some of the players on that team. Okay, you had Danny Ainge, you had Charles Barkley, you had a young Cedric Ceballos, you had Tom Chambers, more on the twilight of his career, but still a solid player. You had Richard Dumas. You had the Johnson boys, Frank and Kevin, right? You had Thunder 9, Dan Marley. You had the big old Oliver Miller when he was a rookie, when he hadn't totally turned into a blob of jelly. You had Kurt Rampus, and you had Mark West on that team as well. So you had a lot of solid pieces on that team, but unfortunately they ran into that Chicago Bulls team, and they kind of both peaked at the same time. But I think that's a very solid team that actually probably would have won that championship if Charles Barkley would have kept his mouth closed to Scottie Pippen. But I think, when you look at the team, the players, how quality of a lineup that was, I think that's going to be maybe not the best, but definitely one of the best teams that did not win a championship.
You also got the Orlando Magic with Penny and Shaq.
Orlando never won a championship in the NBA.
Right.
Matter of fact, has Phoenix even won a title with all their great players and stuff that they had come along? I don't think they never won a title either.
They show him, but guess what? Phoenix fans have so much to talk and act like that team. Act like their team have done something.
Right. I don't think Phoenix never won a title neither. So, and Memphis, the Pacers never won a title, and Reggie Miller probably had some. He's probably surrounded by some of his best players he ever had for his style of play.
Now, this is the question. What do you think? What team won the most important NBA title?
Shoot.
Let's think about that for next week.
We can think about that. Yeah, that's true. But I don't know, because all titles are important depending on.
Well, I'm just talking about like to change the NBA, like just important, like that it had to happen.
I would have to go to 83 Sixers when they beat the Lakers. I watched that documentary. On Hulu, and I didn't realize that they played each other They played each other 4 times in the finals.
And what happened the last time? Who won the last time?
We did, I think.
No.
But the Lakers beat us.
Go rewatch it.
The Lakers beat us.
Go rewatch it. You failed the test, sir.
Nah, we ain't making it 84. We ain't making it to the finals in 84.
You failed the test. Go rewatch it.
Nah, we ain't making it to the finals in 84.
Don't you listen to your teacher? Your teacher said go rewatch it. You failed the test.
Kyle,
I give you an F, and then you gonna tell me.
I gotta go with Kyle. Kyle, he's back in that day. They got overlooked some. I thought we played them in like 70. I thought we played them like 80.
I thought you said you watched the documentary.
It was somewhere. I did watch it. So.
Were you drunk while you watching that too?
No.
I swear you and Mojo came on this show drunk today.
Nah. I'm a professional. So.
Yeah, professional drunker, huh?
Nah. So I don't know. We ain't played them in 84. I don't recall us making it to the finals in 84. So matter of fact, who did win the '84 championship that year? I know it wasn't the Lakers. Cause didn't they run into Boston?
Yeah.
The Boston Celtics beat the Lakers in that series.
Yes, that's what
'84, right?
Yep. 7-game series.
Told you so.
And
I
then-
think the teacher might want to go reevaluate his book real quick.
No, we talking about you said no, don't get up here.
I know what I said.
No. You said the Philadelphia 76ers beat us last. It was y'all beat us first. Y'all beat us first. We beat y'all last. Just like Boston beat us first in Magic Era, then we came back and beat them.
No, because when
No, yes,
we beat y'all-
Marcus.
no, we beat y'all
Marcus,
'83.
go back and watch it, sir.
You have to go back and watch it.
I
Because
watched it. I watched it 2
You
times
have to go
already.
back and watch it because when we
I
won
watched it 2
'83,
times.
we played y'all in '80, played y'all 80, 81 or '80, and y'all beat us.
You don't even know the year, Marcus, so you need
Yeah, I
to go
do.
watch it.
So, yeah, I do. So you got to check it out because I know we beat y'all last.
Guess what? The
83.
first time y'all was, you know how I know we beat y'all last is because who was it with Dr. J? Was it Moses Malone
Moses
that y'all got?
Malone, 83.
Yeah. At first y'all didn't have didn't have him, and y'all out physical.
And
Y'all
we
was more
lost.
physical. Hold
And
on,
we
y'all
lost
was more physical than us, and y'all beat us. Then that's when we turned around. I believe we redrafted big game James Worthy, and then the next year we came in there. We was more physical, and then we beat y'all. I remember
We
that.
only
Oh,
won.
you talking about like
title.
regular season games, Freddie?
No,
Is
in
that
the
what you're talking
finals.
about?
No, we
Well,
only
that was-
won one title.
Yeah, 83 was the last time that the 76ers have been in
Yeah,
the finals.
so
the
I
the
just
last
need to go
championship
re-
win.
You need to go recheck your.
Yeah, and they
your
lost a
content.
few years. They lost again the next time we played them.
Nah, because when we lost, we won. Y'all beat us 3 times, I believe. And then after we won, y'all started playing Boston, and that's when Larry Bird and Magic Johnson started having.
Hold
good
on,
battles.
I'm about to pull it up right now. Hold on.
I mean, you can Google it. I know you're gonna be wrong. You know, ours is facts. The only time we won was in '83. We ain't won a championship since then.
Okay, you ready?
Oh yeah, you are right, Frederick.
I know I'm right.
Yeah, because I had looked at the last time they won, but you're right. There
We
was
won
another
'83.
game. Yeah, there was another one back when they had AI in 2001, and they did, and the Lakers did win. I need to look it up.
Oh,
Now, are you
okay.
sorry, sir?
No, I'm not. So I'm talking about.
No, I'm
talking about '83 too.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Here's what your question.
Right,
You
right.
said what was the most important championship to win?
Are
I'm
we
talking
ready
about
to end
that.
the show and let Conman does his story? Conman want to do a story
You,
time?
technically, you was wrong still.
No, technically you was wrong.
Oh, I wasn't.
Go
Because
drink
you
your
asked the
tequila,
question,
whatever
and
you
I
drink.
gave you an answer to your question.
I know, no sir,
And I said the '83 Sixers. To your question is what I said.
no sir.
And then you asked me who won last. Granted, it would be the Lakers that won last in 2001. I get it. But you said to win the most important championship, I said the '83 Sixers is what I said. So yes, I was right.
So
Yeah, because I remember AI and Kobe going against each other, like necessarily guarding each other, but like in the same series, going back and forth.
you sorry, Marcus?
Nope.
Freddie been joining people
I
today.
know what I'm talking about. Conman,
Yes, sir.
You want to give us your story time, sir?
All right. Well, I know I want to make it kind of short and sweet because I know we got to go on. But as a historian that I claim to be anyway, we lost a lot of people. Most recently, Bill Russell and things of that nature. And also I go back and I checked on a lot of the players, and I had the pleasure of interviewing Sam Jones, who was a 10-time NBA champion with the Boston Celtics. And I happened to interview him, and it was supposed to be a 10-minute interview. It ended up being an hour and 45 minutes. And this man told me so many things about all the trials and tribulations that the Celtics had to go through. We couldn't eat in the same restaurant. He talked about Bill Russell. He talked about Casey Jones. You know, he gave me a true idea, because anyone can read a book. You can read a book. You can even watch a movie. But when you have someone who lived that life and what the Celtics went through, the Black Celtics went through, that's why I'm not a Celtics fan. I never will be. But to hear the things that this man has gone through and the suffering that him and Russell and them guys did, man, think about this, fellas. You win the championship, you come home, and they burn your house. Think about it. Think about it. So those are the things that I embrace. And the fact is, we had the interview last an hour and 45 minutes. And I will never forget this because my birthday is on June 11th. The date that I did the interview was June 10th. And the very next day, he calls me up to wish me a happy birthday. And then 3 months later, he passes away. So those are the things that I'm talking about that I would like to probably bring up in the future shows, to give some people the concept. Everybody talks about the NBA the way it is now. Think about what everybody had to endure so the NBA players can bear the fruit of what they had to go through. So that's it for right now, fellas.
That's good. That's good info. Appreciate it.
That's always good info.
Thank
You know
you.
me. I'm always gonna take the knowledge, because I'm always the one that wanna, what went on previous before my time being born, because all that's still important to this day and age. Which is sad to say. I mean, we could do a politic topic on another note, on another show for another day. But as of right now, this is the M1 podcast. Give you our hottest topic of what we see going on right now in the NBA. But as usual, great show. Mojo, if you can hear us out there, stop being a punk. Don't ever just jump off like that. We're a show. So, and right now, we're a family. So, I get it. Freddie can get under your skin sometimes. That's what he do. But
told you, I have him running, boy. I have him.
That's what we do here on this show, and that's what the show is all about. So, till next time, fellas.
Hey, y'all want to know the little inside joke while Cool was laughing? So y'all want to know?
This dude is ignorant, man. This dude is ignorant, man. For real, he ignorant.
Y'all want to know the joke?
I'm listening.
No, I can't tell y'all the joke. I can't tell y'all the joke. I can't
He ignorant, bro.
Just know it's funny. It's funny. Just know.
We can always end the broadcast, and you can tell us afterwards.
That dude ignorant, man.
Y'all have a great weekend.